Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Gamers Global. How are you? I am Young Johnsa, and today we are going to be reviewing Seekers of the Skyveil, as well as providing feedback to the devs. This game is developed by Elodie, who is based in America. This is an extraction looter game which is very PvP centric. It's an isometric view, you move with WASD and all that good stuff. So let's jump into it. Right off the bat, what is a new player supposed to see? A new player is supposed to see a tutorial, but instead they are thrown directly into the lobby, and there is a reason for that. The reason is the tutorial just doesn't exist. If we click on how to play and then click read more, all we see is a huge block of text. Most players will not read any of this at all. The players who do will be in the minority. I read a bit of this and I had some idea of what was going on, and I played around 10 matches, and after that I just stopped because I just didn't enjoy the game. Now, if we select the map, we're supposed to be by default as a new player selected on the new player realm, but which is the tutorial map, but we aren't because this tutorial is dog shit. There's nothing good about this tutorial. Let's go and play it and I'll show you why it's not good. This tutorial doesn't teach us anything at all. It teaches us how to move with WASD, and then it teaches us how to open the map, and that's about it. Then it tells us the objective to extract and get a key. It doesn't really teach us how to do that. The instructions for a new player is not clear. When you are developing a tutorial, you have to develop the tutorial main objective. Obtain a portal key and extract. Okay. Okay, this bug still isn't fixed. I still keep getting this bug for some reason. Secondary objective. Find and equip it. I assume you'll tell me that once more. Okay, it didn't. Otherwise, these notifications keep popping up, man, over and over again. Also, during the tutorial, if you start moving with WASD immediately, it will not tell you to move with WASD. When you are developing a tutorial, you have to develop the tutorial with the mindset that this tutorial is going to be played by a person who is playing a video game for the very first time. I am a veteran gamer. I've been gaming since I was a wee baby. So I know a lot. But for someone who is like gaming for the very first time, they're not going to have things be as obvious as it is for me. Why am I not being told that left click is my normal attack button over here? I just fought 2 mobs. I'm supposed to be told that left click is my attack button. I'm supposed to be told that this heal orb, I need to press and hold F to use it, and then it heals my health. But it doesn't tell me any of that, and it just expects me to understand. Press tab to open the map. Okay, I press tab, and now that's it. Now that's over. Now the tutorial is over. It will not tell me anything else. It will not tell me how to open this chest. It will not tell me how I equip this. It will not tell me what this is. This is junk that can be sold in the lobby to the vendors to gain more extra gold. It will not tell me any of that. It will just tell me to press tab, open the map, and now I am supposed to extract. How do I extract? A new player isn't going to know this. Now I'm a veteran gamer, so I know. Now my combat rating is 130. The boss over here will be above 130. I think the boss over here requires about 200 combat rating to actually be able to damage it. Otherwise there will be no damage, as I will show you right now. Okay, I was wrong. For some reason I can damage the boss over here. but generally that's not supposed to happen. Generally in a match when we go and the boss is over our health, over our combat rating, we will not be able to damage the boss. So we go here, we try and fight this boss, kill it. The boss will give us a key which we can use to extract. Solo extractions can be done without a key as well, but the game doesn't tell us that. We're supposed to somehow know on our own, despite playing this game for the very first time, about all of this stuff. Pick up extraction key. Pick up extraction key and then we head to solo extraction, because that's the only extraction we can do. So as you can see, tutorial is non-existent. It doesn't tell me about my scouting view, which makes me crouch and crawl on the ground, but also provides me more vision. It doesn't tell me about all this. It doesn't tell me about my one ability, my first ability, my second ability. It doesn't tell me about my ultimate. It doesn't tell me about my passive. It doesn't tell me about my movement skill. Nothing. There is no tutorial in this game, and you are a game that has gone into full public access. You have given the entire gaming community access to your game. You need to have a tutorial, man. I'm not trying to bash you or anything. I'm speaking from the best of intentions, and I want your game to be good, but you need to have a tutorial, man. Not having a tutorial and going full public access is like not good. That worked 10 years ago, like in 2015. That worked, yeah, sure. But in today's day and world, gamers have less and less patience, and also the window within which you need to grab the gamer's attention and make the gamer feel like this game is worth investing their time in has become much smaller. That window is now smaller than it used to be. If within the first 10 minutes the gamer isn't feeling your game, he's not going to like continue on. And if within the first 30 minutes you haven't captured the gamer's imagination and attention, he's not going to be playing this game any longer. And the gamer who's left, it's hard to get them back into the game again. It's not impossible, but it's definitely hard, and it's going to require a lot of work to get them to come back, because there's lots of games coming out every day, every month, every year, and there are a lot of good games out there. You really need to step it up and stand apart from the crowd. Your new player experience is horrendous. It's horrendous, man. Now, let's talk about the next thing. Main menu. What do I like about the main menu? I like the art style in the main menu. Let's go to vendors, I'll show you. This vendor, Mom's Shroom, is excellent. I love the art style. She looks amazing. It's cute, it's warm, it's chibi. I love it. Like, I don't mind vibrant, cute art styles. I like them. I have the ability to appreciate them, and I love them. I love the art style. Your art style in this game is absolutely unique. It's off the charts, actually. I would give it a 10 out of 10 if I had to give it about, if I had to rate your art style regarding how good and unique it is, I'd give you a 10 on a 10. Man, like, your art style is really great. Let's look at the Seekers. The Seekers also look amazing. Look at the Seeker. These Seekers look amazing, man. All of them look so amazing. It's very well designed. They look unique. They don't look like they've been ripped off from some other game. It's very good. It's very good. Now, regarding your cosmetics, I like that you can customize the weapon. It's a separate piece. I like that. I also like that I can customize my eyes. It's a separate piece. I like that. What I dislike is that the cosmetic philosophy you've gone for is skins instead of like pieces. So it's one entire skin. that leaves less room for the gamer to customize. So if, for example, if you go into Dota 2, everything are pieces. You can buy an entire set, but the set is various different pieces. The head will be a different set of piece. The arms will be a different set of piece. The legs are a different piece. The weapon is a different piece. If the hero has a pet, the pet is a completely separate piece. It's all pieces. And when you have pieces like that, it really gives room to the gamer to create their own unique look. I played Dota 2 for a long time, and even when I was not logged into the game and I'm like going to work or something, I would be thinking about what kind of theme can I think of to customize the outfit of my hero. I'd think about that, man, and based on the theme I could come up with, I'd customize my hero to have a completely unique look, and that's really nice. But over here you've gone for skins, and that's not a deal breaker, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't like skins. I like them to be pieces instead of skins. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the UI navigation for the main menu, for the lobby. The UI navigation is horrible. It's horrible, man. So this is supposed to be the default map, Blooming Grove. Now, by default, Fill Party is turned on. You have said that this game has specifically been balanced and designed around trio play, and I very much agree. I tried solo play, it's horrendous. It's impossible to play it. It's impossible. Like, I don't even know why that's an option. Why is there a solo option? This option should not be in this game at all. This option, take it out. You don't need this option. Your game has been completely designed and balanced around trio play. This solo play option should not exist. Please remove. The next thing. Why is the global matchmaking on the map? Shouldn't it be over here where I'm searching for a match? Instead it's here on the map screen, and it's turned on by default, which also I do not like. Nobody wants to play on a server that's on the other side of the world and then go into the match and then realize, oh shit, I've been matched all the way across the 7 seas, and now my ping is 200 or 300. Nobody wants to realize that that's not a good experience. It's especially not a good experience if you are a new player trying the game for the very first time. It's horrible. That's a horrible experience, man. So this should be turned off by default. The next, when I search a match, the cancel search match should be over here, not over here, man. Like, I got so confused looking. I was looking all over. How can I cancel? Searching for a match, I want to cancel because I don't want to play. And before I could find this button, I was already in a match, and now I had to play it. So small things like this can really frustrate a player, and so you need to fix some of these things. For the vendors also, if I go over here and let's say I want to buy a bandage, where is the back button, man? If I right click, I cannot exit. If I press backspace, it doesn't exit. If I press delete, it doesn't exit. If I press escape, it takes me right back to the main lobby. How do I go back? How do I cancel this? It's not clear. Now I have to press every button on my keyboard and mouse to find out how exactly it is that I exit this transaction. It's also not like, if I want to buy more than one bandage, how do I do that? It's not clear. It's not okay. I just got out. Apparently I clicked this. How do I get? Okay, I don't know how I got out just now. I have no idea. I don't know. Oh my god, this is such a bad system, man. Like, I have to keep clicking these bandages if I want to buy more. So now it's 12. Now how do I decrease? How do I decrease? Why don't you just have a plus or minus button or a slider over here to increase or decrease? It shouldn't be like this, man. So if I want to like buy 50 bandages, I have to click 50 times? Is that it? I may be doing something wrong here and maybe there is a way, but immediately for a new player it's definitely not obvious. It's definitely not obvious. And then your other vendors also the same issue. None of them like I don't know, man. Another issue I have with your crafting system is that if I go into resources, right? When okay, for example, let's take tanned hide. Tanned hide, common. Now, if I'm in a match and I just got tanned hide, I'm not going to be able to know, that this is a crafting material because as soon as I look at it, within 1 or 2 seconds, I just can't find out. I have to read the entire text. This tanned hide is tough and flexible. This resource can be harvested from tanning racks in the creature den. So by reading the entire text, then I need to understand that this is a resource. It's probably used for crafting. It doesn't right off the bat say that it's a crafting material. Why doesn't it say that? Like, this is a looter extraction game. These kind of resources, they're important to the player. You need to make that immediately obvious in a match. People aren't going to like read the entire text. People want to just have a look at it for a second, just glance at it and be able to know, okay, crafting material, got it, I'm keeping that, I'm not throwing that away. The next one I find, I'm definitely picking it up because this is a crafting material. I need that. People need to know, man. Like, you can't expect people to put in the effort to read this kind of stuff for every item they find. There's like a lot of items, man. I got kind of frustrated as a new player just reading the text of every item I found just to know what it is that they did. Was it a crafting material or was it some junk I could sell to the vendor for gold? I don't know. So you really need to make those kind of things obvious and easy for the players to understand. You can't expect the player to intuitively know from his 20 or 30 years of gaming experience. What if you get players that are playing a video game for the first time, man? Always design with the mindset that the player is a person that is playing a video game for the first time, and you have the honor of allowing this player to experience his or her first video game. Like if I was a company and I knew that a lot of people that are playing my game are first time video game players, I'd be absolutely stoked, man. That's like such an honor. And you really need to make this new player experience much better. Your new player experience is very bad right now. You are going to have a very hard time retaining players. So please, like, this should be your top priority. New player experience, absolute top priority, man. Please look into it. Now when it comes to the design of the Seekers, I do like their designs. I didn't get to play all of them, but I did play Strix pretty thoroughly. In fact, Strix was the only character I was playing because I wanted to get a good grasp on the game and its mechanics and stuff. So playing only one hero and learning the game through that one hero makes that process much easier, but unfortunately I just couldn't get to that place because after 10 matches I was just like done. Most people will not even give a game 10 matches if they aren't enjoying it, but I really really tried hard to give your game an honest fair chance, but I just wasn't enjoying it. But when it comes to the Seekers, I like the design, so whoever is working on the design of your Seekers is pretty good. Some of them are way too simple. For example, I don't like this one. I feel like she's a bit too simple. It doesn't stoke my imagination. I don't feel like, oh my god, this character looks awesome, I want to try it out, let's see what she does. No, I don't feel that way. But when I look at Strix, does that feeling does come. When I look at this character Neri, I do feel that. So it's not off the mark on all the characters, but on some of the characters it is definitely off the mark. But for the most part, I think the character design is excellent. I can't comment much on the skills because I didn't see all of their skills, but I did like the mechanic of Strix where the passive makes me do bonus damage. So releasing the attack will launch an arrow dealing 40 plus 20% physical damage and then marks the target and then drops a trophy which I can pick up to permanently increase my damage. I like that. I like that mechanic. I also liked the ultimate, so where I charge my attack and then it pierces through everyone, and the further away it travels the more damage it deals. I love that. I'm not sure about the movement skill. The movement skill felt a bit gimmicky. It also didn't feel that good to use. Like, I don't know, the animation of it was also very bad. The animation doesn't make it very clear that the movement skill was a movement skill. The right mouse button skill and the Q, that also, and as well as the E. I don't know about these three skills. Like, it didn't feel that good to use them. I won't say they are useless, but in terms of how it felt to use them, it never felt like that good. I don't know, especially with the E. When I use it, make my bow glow or something, some kind of indication that I am now buffed. That indication, I at least I didn't notice any such obvious indication. For example, when Windrunner uses her Windrun, it becomes very obvious that she has Windrun now, and that all physical attacks are going to miss her unless the player has True Strike, and that she is going to be moving super fast. Those kind of obvious indications and animations are important when you design a hero based game, but that's not there in this currently. So the next thing I don't like about this is the waiting lobby, the preparation lobby. This is not a deal breaker, but I think this could use a little bit of work. This is kind of meh, kind of. Over here, I'm going to be playing a solo match, completely solo, and I believe this one is in the Asia server. I like that as soon as we start the match, we are put in a place that has three loot boxes where we can get consumables if in case we forgot to take them or went in completely blind. I also like that the environment has destructibles for us to farm resources from, such as the crates and the vases. But one problem with the crates and the vases is that the item that drops isn't obvious. Like, it picks it up so fast that I don't know what dropped, so I have to look above my hero's head to know what exactly I picked up. And then there is no way for me to easily check what it was I picked up currently. Like, there's no notification that pops up on the screen, there's no log. I have to open my inventory and then click resources and manually check what exactly it was I picked up. Like, it's not obvious what it was I picked up. The second complaint I would say is that in the game, right, the art style in the main menu looks so fantastic, but after I jump into the match, it's a completely different story. This looks like a mobile game. This doesn't look like this doesn't look very good. This looks like a mobile game, man. I appreciate the fact that you all have developed a game that doesn't require a very high system requirement, and that's very very good because a game like this needs a high player base because you are dividing the players up into various maps, so you're going to need a high player base to populate every map. And choosing the approach to have the system requirement be low so that all players can play it, and players around the world with various kinds of systems, whether it be low or high, are able to run the game. That's very good. I like that. But this needs to change. Like this looks like a mobile game, man. I'm really not a fan of this. The main menu looks so fantastic, and I was expecting something big when I went in, and then I saw this, and it looked like a mobile game, and I was just like, this is trash, yo. This is trash. The next thing I would like to say is when I'm fighting mobs, it doesn't feel epic. It doesn't feel epic. It doesn't feel epic to fight any of the PvE mobs, man. It feels like I'm fighting squeaky toys. Like, the first thing about these mobs are that their attack animations aren't clear cut. There are some animations that are clean and they're very clear cut, so it's very easy to understand that they are going to attack, so I can telegraph it and then play accordingly. But otherwise, for the most part, regular mobs especially, they don't have a very good attack animation. It's not clean, it's not clear, and it looks like a squeaky toy trying to puff its head or something. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they definitely don't look like they're attacking. You need to have a clean cut, clear animation for a game like this where you've designed it for the player to be able to dodge attacks, to be able to telegraph attacks and negate damage with immunity skills and stuff. So you need to have that, man. But currently, like regular mobs don't have that at all. It doesn't apply so much to the bosses. Most for the most part, bosses animation, it's clean, it's clear cut, but the mobs definitely not. Just look on the screen right now. I'm fighting mobs, like it's so hard to tell like they're going to attack or what kind of attack they're going to do. It's so hard. Especially this becomes even harder the more units that are on the screen. Like that's not supposed to happen, man. That's not supposed to happen. Like it's just hard as you can see on the screen. That's another complaint I have about it. The third thing I would say about this is uh, remove the solo play. As a solo player, my experience was that the match is 15 minutes long, but my progression through the game is very slow. Like I cannot progress through the map fast enough because regardless of if I'm geared or going in completely naked, it just doesn't matter. I don't do enough damage to move through the map quick enough. You definitely need to be in a team of 3 to move through the map quick enough and get stuff done. As a solo player, it took forever to kill these mobs, man. It didn't matter what gear I was on. It didn't matter if I was naked. I tried it both ways, and it took forever to just go through the map and kill these normal low-level mobs. It was horrendous, man. Remove solo play. If your game wasn't designed for solo play, then that's fine, but just remove it. Having that option there just hurts you because a new player isn't going to go through Discord and do their research like I did to know that, oh shit, this game actually wasn't designed for solo players at all. You actually need to play in a team. They're gonna see they have the option to play solo. They're going to play solo and they're going to have a terrible experience and think the game is trash. And then they're going to exit and uninstall. So remove this option. You don't need it. Now, let's talk about playing as a trio. Playing as a trio is what this game is about. It's how this game has been balanced and designed. So that should be the absolute highlight of this game and the most enjoyable part of this game. However, after playing with a set of random players, whoever the game matched me with, my experience is that in order to really enjoy this game, you really need to have a pre-made group, man. If you don't have a pre-made of 2 other players to play as a trio, and then you jump into the match with random players, your enjoyment is going to be diminishing. is going to be really diminished because you're just going to end up frustrated. And the reason why frustration is the experience of a player is because as a player, I had to compete for loot with my team, and I didn't understand that. It's like me and my team don't share a common goal other than making it to the extraction. It didn't feel like we were a team because we were competing against each other to get the loot. Whoever clicks the fastest gets the loot, and now it's a competition of whoever clicks faster. The only difference between my teammates and the enemy was that I didn't have to combat my teammates to secure the loot, whereas against the enemy I have to fight them. So it's a really horrible design when I have to compete for loot with my teammates. It really didn't feel like a team game at all. It was just frustrating. And I felt like I was griefing my teammates by competing for loot against them. It felt like I wasn't securing the loot, I was stealing the loot from my teammates. And it really felt like I was griefing them. There was one moment where we had made it to the end of the match. All of us are healthy. The clock is ticking down, but we have sufficient time to make it to extraction. I even type in chat that we have to go to extraction. But one of my teammates stops at the map chest and just seems like he's gone AFK. This is the chest where we need the red and blue key, I believe, to open it. And this guy had all the keys. So the other two of us couldn't open the chest, but he could, and it seemed like he was AFK. He was just not moving at all. Me and my teammate didn't want to abandon this guy, so we waited for a while, and he just seemed AFK. So, alright, since he's AFK and there's a boss nearby, why not do the boss, right? Me and my teammate go to the boss and we start fighting the boss. The boss was relatively of a lower level than us by now, so we managed to kill the boss much faster than usual. And then we come back, and while we are coming back, this guy is actually opening the chest. And just as I reached the chest was when he finished opening it. I immediately pressed F and I took everything in the chest. I really felt like I griefed this guy, man. It didn't feel good, but that's how the game is and that's how I'm supposed to play. And I realized that this guy, he pretended to go AFK because he didn't want to compete for the loot with us. So he was waiting for us to go away so that he could open the chest solo and take all the loot. After this, because we had wasted so much time waiting for this guy, we couldn't make it in extraction in time, and all three of us just died to the storm. That was not a good experience, man. That was like such a frustrating experience. So you really need to change that. One recommendation I have for how to change it is there are three players on a team. Mark each player with a color or a number like blue, green, red, or yellow, or whatever. Give each player a color. So when players open a chest or a loot, players can only take loot from their own colors. So one tab is completely blue, the second tab is completely green, the third tab is completely yellow. Blue can only take the loot from the blue tab, green can only take the loot from the green tab, and so on and so forth. This way, people don't have to compete for loot against each other, and everyone gets a loot. So now you are cooperating more as a team than just like a random bunch of individuals that just are forced to work together. Like, team play in this game doesn't have the feeling that we are teammates. It doesn't have the feeling of cooperation, which a team game is supposed to have. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is voice chat. This game absolutely needs voice chat, but I feel like you didn't put voice chat on purpose because there was a lot of frustrating moments in this game. Like, frustration while playing this game is just absolutely high, man. And I feel like you didn't put voice chat on purpose so that people weren't screaming at the top of their lungs to their teammates and ruining the experience even further. So once you taken out all these frustrating elements from the game, I would advise you to implement voice chat, because typing in chat to communicate is not efficient nor convenient for this game. You absolutely need voice chat for this game, because a match is 15 minutes long. You don't want to stand around and be typing and going back and forth with your teammates. You just want to be on the move. You want to go, 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 and while you're on the move, communicate. So please do implement voice chat at some point. Now, I won't talk much about the PvP. Even though this game is very PvP centric, I won't talk much about it, because my experience with the game was so frustrating that it hindered my ability to start enjoying other parts of the game. But from the little PvP that I did do, it seemed like PvP has potential. But for now, like, forget the PvP, just focus on other things. Number one, new player experience. Number two, the removal of solo queues. Number three, rem- uh, have players not compete against each other with their teammates. They're already competing against the enemies, and that's enough. So once you do all that, maybe you can focus on PvP. But for now, you have bigger priorities. PvP is not the biggest priority right now. I cannot state how broken it is or how balanced it is, because I felt like by this point, I was just frustrated, and I didn't feel like I'd be able to give you justifiable or constructive feedback regarding it. Now let's talk about the PvE. PvE in this game is not good. If you Let's compare another game that has some amount of PvE but PvP is the major focus. Dota 2. Now in Dota 2 you have neutral camps in the jungle that you can fight. It's more fun to fight neutral camps in Dota 2 than it is to go around the map killing mobs in this game. It's more fun to fight Roshan than to fight bosses in this game. Firstly, the normal mobs, all of them are tiny, and maybe that's just like an aesthetic choice, so I won't complain much regarding it. But they didn't have clear animations, man. Like, the game is clearly designed to be a game where you're constantly on the move, you're telegraphing attacks, you're dodging attacks, and doing all that good stuff. But the player is limited by the fact that the attack animations aren't very clear. You don't have very clear attack animations for the normal monsters. So it's very hard to see what it is that they are trying to do, or what it is that they are trying to achieve. Like, their attacks, give them a different set of attacks with different animations. If they have skills, give them a clear animation of when they are going to use their skills, so that the player can telegraph it, understand what's going to happen, and react accordingly. Right now the animations are just not clear at all. You need better, more clean cut animations. The bosses had very clear animations, so that was good, but the bosses didn't really feel that exciting to fight at all. Not, like, PvP and PvE in this game is just bad. So you need to maybe look into that. I understand if PvE is not the main focus and this is a more PvP centric game, but that was something I wanted to point out regarding the PvE. There's not much else to say regarding this game, because my ultimate experience with this game was one of frustration and not enjoyment. I feel like you will have a very difficult time retaining players with the current state of the game. However, I do want you to do well, and I encourage you to keep trying to improve this game and make it as good as possible, because I can see that you are clearly a team that is dedicated and passionate about this game. I think you can do well. You just need some time to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and polish the rough edges. Add good things, improve the things that are already good and take away the bad of the game. So, with that said, I'll leave you with the words that you need to make new player experience, the fixing of teammates not having to compete with each other, and what was the third thing? Implementing voice chat as like your top three priorities. Like the new player experience is just horrible. So I already said what the top three priorities should be, so you should really just focus on that and then take things from there. I don't think I'll be playing this game anymore, but I am still on the Discord. So if there are any big patches or something like that, and it seems like the game has improved, I might check it out, but I'm not sure. But for now, I will encourage you to keep improving this game. I think the game has potential, but it's just missing the mark a little bit. With that said, I hope this video was especially helpful to the devs and the others found it enjoyable. I am Young Jonsa signing out. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you.